What's up, everybody? EBC Media here with Idaho Underground Sports Network, and welcome to my Idaho Volleyball 5A and 4A podcast for the season. I'm going to try and do this weekly, something I'm excited to do. Obviously, I love talking about sports, Idaho high school sports especially, and this is something that I think is just going to be able to give the athletes a little bit more love, help people get to know all the volleyballers we got around the state. We got a bunch of them, got a lot of Division I talent, University of Washington, University of San Diego. We got girls getting looks all over the place, BYU, Oregon, a couple commits there, two of the top athletes in the country over at Skyview. This one specifically, I'm going to touch on the 5A. It's going to be my Idaho 5A volleyball preview, as you'll see the ticker go below. I'm just learning how to do all this stuff. The Game Time Guru, he's our podcast guy. I mean, he's got one of the top podcasts in the world. So he's trying to teach me how to do this so I can do this on my own. Most of what I'm going to do this year, I'm going to run from my page, the EBC Media page. There will be content also on the Idaho Underground Sports page, game updates, score updates, top highlights. I'll do some reels on my page, and I'll collaborate with Idaho Underground Sports. So make sure you follow Idaho Underground Sports Network and, of course, EBC Media. As you can see, right over here. I'll figure it out. There we go. Anyway, let's jump into this. 5A volleyball I'm very excited about. I'm going to do some soccer as well, and obviously football. Most of the football is going to be ran through the Idaho Underground Sports page, soccer as well. But we have decided that the EBC Media page, like I said, is going to be very volleyball-centered, along with also some soccer and football sprinkled in there as well. So anyway, let's jump straight into this. I've done some posts about my rankings, top players to watch, all this and that. I've heard a lot of feedback. I love the feedback. Even if it's constructive criticism, I'm good with that. I know not everybody's going to agree with me. I don't know everything. I just started doing my research at the end of the spring, start of the summer, when I decided I was going to do this. And most of the research I've done and the information I have received is from players, coaches, and some fans. Obviously, players and coaches, everyone's going to be a little biased. But when I'm talking to them about everybody except their team, it's very interesting to see the feedback I get. So I'm trying to gather everything that I can from players and coaches and, some fans who I know, club coaches and whatnot. And I tried to put this together as best I could. I got the names that I needed to know. The teams that are supposed to be have a shot this year to win it. I know the SIC is going to be very balanced after Eagle. So let's jump into that. Let's jump into the SIC. I'm going to just put down below, you'll see my SIC rankings. The very first one I did a couple months ago I did a top 10 ranking. That will look a little different now based on what I saw this summer. I went to a bunch of volleyball this summer and started to get to know the players, the coaches, all these different programs. And it was a lot of fun. Love the game of volleyball. My mom was an All-American volleyball player. I had multiple cousins who were Division I volleyball players. I've always enjoyed playing. My brother-in-law was an AVP sand volleyballer. And so love the game. Absolutely love it. Obviously, my wife's a coach as well over at Eagle. So this is fun for me. I love it. I'm more excited for volleyball than I might be football. A lot of people are going to be like, what's wrong with this dude? That's just what it is. I love all sports. Absolutely love volleyball. It's been a big part of my life. So anyway, let's jump into the SIC. I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to start off by talking about Eagle because, I think Eagle's the best 5A team in the state. That doesn't necessarily mean I think Eagles is going to win the whole thing. I'll touch on that in a little bit. But I think Eagle is absolutely ridiculously stacked. Watched them a little bit this summer. They were never fully healthy. They were always missing 3-4 starters. But they have so many ballers. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. There's a girl at Eagle. I will not mention a name, but there's a girl at Eagle who is going to end up being a Division I volleyball player in the next couple of years. She's an underclassman, and she's, like I said, going to be a D1 baller at some point, and she's like at the bottom of the rotation on the varsity team. She's a JV varsity kind of fringe player. That's how stacked this team is. This team is so good at every position. They're deep. They've got they're in my opinion, their 11th, 12th, 13th player down in there could start for any other team in the SIC and be good and effective, be very good, and make that team even more formidable than they are. I mean, I'm telling you, Eagle from top to bottom is so talented. I don't think there's a team as talented as them. You can obviously Skyview, they're 4A now. Thank goodness for everybody in 5A. But without talking about Skyview, I mean, Eagle, I would love to see Eagle play Skyview this year. I think this Eagle team is that stacked to where I think they could potentially make it a game. Maybe that's me being biased, and I'm a Mustang fan, but I'd want to see it because Eagle got a couple transfers, and Maija Howse from BK, she's going to be a sophomore. She is a monster. She can smash. And then Sophia Morton, who came up from Southern California, from Orange County, got to see her play this summer. She might actually end up being their best player. Those may be their two best players, and they're both transfers. And they bring back a lot of pieces, a lot of starters. Delaney Bub was first team All-League and second team All-State last year. Should have been first team All-State. Got robbed there. She's back. Maddi Hauskins is back. She was second team All-League by 1 vote. And so they've got pieces going to Liv Manning, who's going to be one of the best middles in the league, along with Sophia Morton. They may have the two best middles in the entire league on their team. And then they may have the two best hitters as well with Maija Howse and Delaney Bub. And then defensively, they're very good as well. Avery Hassman, who played with Idaho Crush, that team that traveled nationally. Bray Matthews was on that team. She's another girl that can come in and smash. I mean, there's so many ball players on this team that it's just, I don't know how they're all going to get enough minutes or how everyone's going to stay happy. But if they can figure that out and everybody can get their minutes, because they're going to smash everybody in the SIC, I think. If they lose a game in the SIC, it will be a surprise. Because everybody else in the league, they've got maybe one or two major returners, except for maybe Timberline's got 3 with Brickner, Cox, and Davis. But Eagle's going to be scary. Eagle's going to be scary. Eagle Madison for me is going to be the state title game. I'll touch on that here in a little bit. But Eagle's loaded. Look out for Eagle. If you have a chance to go watch Eagle volleyball this year, go watch them. They will look completely different than every other team they play against physically, and they've got monsters everywhere. I'm excited to cover them this year. So let's jump past Eagle, who is the heavy favorite to win the SIC, and not because my wife coaches there, but because everybody knows it, and that's just who they're going to be this year. And they're still pretty young. So anyway, Eagle's going to be very good this year. Then I went with Mountain View as my number 2 team. 2, 3, 4 was interesting for me. I could have put Owyhee at 2 after what I saw from them this summer. I wanted to put Timberline at 2. I decided to put Mountain View at 2 because I think they have the best all-around player in the league, and that's Sierra Grizzle. I think you can get the most out of her than you can from any other player. She can hit. She can defend. She's just a monster. She's an animal. I think she's going to be player of the year in the league. If they do finish up in the 2-3 range, I think Sierra Grizzle will probably be player of the year in the SIC because Eagles is going to have way too many people to choose from. I mean, if anybody on Eagle were to get player of the year, my pick would probably be Sophia Morton because of what I've seen from her. Haven't seen enough of Maija Howse. Delaney Bub potentially. We'll see. But Mountain View, for me, has the best all-around player in the league, and I think they have the best setter in the league in Tennyson Fry, going to be a sophomore. She plays for the younger Idaho Crush team that also made it to nationals. Sierra Grizzles on the older team, which is the first team ever to make it to the national tournament, and then the younger team, Tennyson Fry's team, followed suit. So Tennyson Fry and Sierra Grizzle are going to be a formidable duo. I think that'll probably end up being the top duo in the SIC. Along with, I'm a big Liberty Ipsum fan, and Eliana Tia over at Centennial. They're both younger, so I'll touch on that in a minute. Third, I went with Owyhee. I really like what I see from Owyhee. I think they're the second most balanced team in the league after Eagle, like overall, like the team that has the the most girls that can compete at a high level. I think Owyhee is second to Eagle in that. I think they're still young. I think they still got to prove it. They've just got to step into that, and they've got to show that they can be a top-tier team. I think they will be. It was tough to put them over Timberline. It was tough to put Mountain View over Timberline. Originally, I had Timberline in the 2 spot. If you look back at my rankings from my original top 10 state rankings, I had Timberline as the next SIC team, and that still may be a mistake. I mean, Ava Brickner, Allie Cox, and Piper Davis will be 3 of the top players in the league as well. Ava Brickner is an Idaho Crush girl. Allie Cox is as well. And Piper Davis is a returning first-team All-League hitter. So that they're going to be tough place to win. Timberline could definitely be in that 2 spot. I told you why I went with Mountain View. They could be ahead of Owyhee. Maybe they should be ahead of Owyhee. I saw Owyhee a lot this summer. Got to know that team, and maybe that's why I put them there. But those 3 I think are going to be the next 3. Then I got Rocky Mountain in the 5 spot. They got a new coaching staff, but they've got a lot of athletes. They've got Taryn Miller, Ella Peterson, Anna DeBell. They've got pieces. They've got athletes. It's with a new coach and everything. It's always interesting, but. Kinsley Coleman, Chloe Hansen, they've got a group of girls that know what they're doing. Rocky's always confident. Really excited to see what this team can do. I think this team could jump up in that 2, 3, 4 range, depending on how long it takes with the new system and a new coaching and how long it takes for them to click. But anyway, Rocky Mountain, and everything has always got athletes. So heads up for Rocky Mountain. 6th is Boise. Boise is going to be scrappy. They had a lot of injuries to younger players last year. They're all back. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do. They have a new coaching staff as well. So I feel they're more middle of the pack. They're going to be a team that is going to compete and can beat anybody any time out, except maybe Eagle. Eagle's going to have to beat themselves. I'm going to continue to say that. But, Boise's got, Maddie Bogus and Lucy Elliott. And sorry if I butcher anybody's names. I'm just getting to know everybody. Those are going to be 2 of their leaders, but gonna be fun to see what Boise can do. They're always scrappy. Centennial for me is 7th. Initially, I was going to have them higher. I did go watch them play. They've got some players. I mean, Eliana Tia for me will probably be a first-team all-leaguer. Liberty Ibsen, and she's a very good young setter. We have a lot of very good young setters in this league. 3 that I can think of off the top of my head that are going to be sophomores, and Liberty Ibsen, Shani McWilliams, and Tennyson Fry are all going to be sophomores, and 3 of the best setters, if not the 3 best setters in the league. So they'll have Liberty Ibsen, and they will have Eliana Tia. For me, that's another duo that's going to be really tough to deal with. I'd put them a tier behind Grizzle and Fry because they've been doing it. They've done it. And I got them in a 2 spot. But Centennial for me they're 7 because they need to be able to pass the ball. They are one of those teams when I watched them was just beating themselves, it's just unforced error, just beating themselves. If they can clean that up, they could jump up into maybe the 3, 4, 5 spot. I got them at 7 right now. Liked what I saw from them. They've got some good young talent as well. They're a young team. They should hopefully be better, as the season goes along. But with the likes of Dalen Harris and Lily Hallworth, they're going to have some other pieces as well. Some girls that can hit the ball, who are good at the net. Excited to see what Centennial can do. 8, we got Meridian. Mulaney Ogden is dynamic, super fun to watch, got a 40-inch vertical. She smashes the ball. Meridian is very small. Everybody seems to be like 5'5", the exact same size, very scrappy. If you show up flat and don't play well, I feel like Meridian's the type of team that can surprise you. Sophie Rice, she was all league mentioned last year. She's back. Aaliyah Skidmore, good defensively. They've got some pieces as well, undersized, but because the league is going to be as balanced as it is from 2 through whatever, who knows with Meridian? I mean, they're tough, they're scrappy. So I'm excited to see what they can do. And then we've got Bora at 9. Bora Chevelle Sparks, and Haley Pyra, a couple names there. Like I said, I'm getting the names down. I'm excited to see what they can do. Shout out Meyer Media, my guy there. He's a big Bora Lions volleyball fan. So excited to see what the Lions are able to do this year. And then 10th, we've got CUNA. Brylan Field was an all-league mention last year. She's back. She'll be their centerpiece. And then Capital is 11. Lillian Lawrence, she'll be their best player for Capital. Her and Brylan Field from CUNA, they're going to have to really put the team on the back and carry them through the season to be competitive. And then we got the two new members who I really don't know anything about. No disrespect to them, but I'm putting Middleton at 12 and Nampa at 13. I know McCall Meschker from Eagle, a friend of mine, shout out McCall. She's transferring over to Middleton. Good luck to her over there at Middleton. So that gives them a piece in the middle. And then Nampa lost, they lost player of the year last year in Audra Redford. She went to Utah State. She was player of the year, like I said, at Nampa. They lose her, then they go up to 5A. That's going to be difficult. We'll see what they can do. But that's kind of a rundown of the SIC. Back to Owyhee, Mikhail Roy, Mick Stewart, Ella Leishman, Kaya Gearhart, all good volleyball players. Shani McWilliams for me is their centerpiece, their key. I mentioned Mikhail Roy. She's gonna have to be a beast. Which all summer I watched her do it. Like I said, they're still young. They're still trying to figure it out. They do lose a huge piece in all league mention last year in Samantha Hotzenbeller, a ball and softball player. She's gonna focus on softball. But she's not playing this year. I think that's an enormous loss for them. I consider them at 2. As soon as they lost her, I said I can't put them at 2. They probably should be at 4. Timberline should probably be at 3. I'm a believer in their coaching staff and what they've got going over there. Like I said, spent a lot of time over there. Excited to see what they can do over there this year. See if they can take that next jump. Confident group, young group, but confident. See what they can do. So anyway, that's a quick rundown of the SIC, who I put where, kind of names to remember, names to know. I'm going to jump over now and throw up the state, the top 10 state rankings is the ticker down below now. It was the SIC rankings. Now we've got the state. Just run through this real quick and finish up the first volleyball podcast, EBC volleyball podcast. Hope everybody's enjoying. I will get better as we go along. Just wanted to give some people some shout outs, give some people something to look forward to and get hyped. So I'm going to start with Madison. Madison for me is probably going to win the state championship. And here's why. I keep talking about Eagle, and Eagle's going to be loaded. I want Eagle to smack everybody. To all my friends out there who are volleyball players, I hope Eagle smacks you. And they may, and they're loaded, and they could win it. Here's my problem. And I'm going to be completely honest, and this is going to probably stir up some conversation, but all you volleyballers are going to get to know EBC real well, real quick, because I keep it real. I give you my opinion just, based on what I know about athletics and about people and whatnot. Obviously, I don't know everything about volleyball or the teams or the players, but I do know, the intricacies of the game, the small things that matter. And that's cohesion. That's getting along with your teammates. That's trusting each other. That's, being stable at every position. And not that Eagle's not, they are, but I know that Madison is for sure. I know Madison's got the best setter in 5A, and that's Kinley Kerbs. And I watched her last year. I remember her at the state tournament last year when she was a junior, and she just ran the show for Madison. She put the ball where it needed to be. She was sneaky. She was savvy. She was creative and super confident. And just, she blew me away at the state tournament last year. I think she has the potential to be 5A state player of the year, potential Gatorade player of the year. She's going to have to deal with those girls at Skyview when it comes to the Gatorade player of the year stuff. Alex Bauer and Alex Acevedo, the two best players in the state and two of the best players in the country. But Kinley Kerbs is going to be a problem, and Madison will have an advantage at the setting position every game they play. And then Madison has a ton of girls that are good at a ton of different things. Emma Haywood, Ashley Garner, Maddie Wilcox, Nora Waddoups, Mariah Wilson. I mean, they've got girls across the board that know what they're doing. They trust each other. These girls have grown up together. They know how good they are. They've been extremely successful together. They lost in the state title game last year to Skyview, and we're the only team to take a set from Skyview. Skyview beat them 3-1, and they had beat them in a set. First team in Idaho last year to take a set from Skyview. Skyview has won 92 straight matches in Idaho. They will hit 100 this year and some. But Madison was able to take a game from them. Madison beat Eagle in 5 games in the semis to go to play Skyview in a state championship game. And so Madison's confident. They've already beaten Eagle last year. Eagle's a new team. Everybody's older. They got those transfers. It's going to be different. But when it comes to chemistry, when it comes to trust, when it comes to, doing it together, Madison has all that. And the state tournament is back east in Idaho Falls, which is home to the Bobcats. And Madison travels better than anybody for any sport. Every year at the state basketball tournament, Madison travels the best, including the local teams. And so I'm excited to see how Madison travels to the Owyhee football game next Friday, week 0. Madison at Owyhee. I expect Madison to travel well. But anyway, Madison volleyball for me is the team to beat 5A because of the location of the state tournament, because who their setter is, which I think is the most important position in the game of volleyball, just based on what I understand. I could be wrong. Call me out for it. That's fine. I think the setter is the most important position, and I think Madison has the best setter. Obviously, like I said, Alex Bauer at Skyview, that's a different conversation, but they're 4A now. So I think the advantage goes to Madison for those reasons. But Eagle is more talented than Madison, and it's just what it is. They have more girls that are going to be high-level volleyball players than Madison does. But Madison doesn't care, and they're not afraid of Eagle. And if I'm Eagle, I'd be worried about Madison. So Eagle's going to have to put it together with new players. They're going to have that chemistry. There's a lot of really good players. There can't be any jealousy. That stuff cannot live in that locker room, because I know it doesn't live in that Madison locker room. And I've done extensive research on that Madison team on multiple different levels. And I know who they are, and I know what they're bringing. And me and my wife, we talk about it all the time. I said, I hope you guys understand, like, this is Madison's year. You need to go take that from them. And she don't like that, but she understands. So anyway, Madison's number 1, Eagles number 2. I think after that, there's a big drop. But Post Falls, I do think, has the best overall player in 5A, and that's Kylie Munday, who just committed to University of San Diego. She's going to be a junior. She's around 6 feet tall. She does everything for them. She's like Allie Cox is for Timberline. Allie Cox sets and hits and plays defense and blocks. And Kylie Munday's the same way. Saw her last year as a sophomore. She was maybe the best player I saw at the 5A state tournament last year, besides the Skyview girls. At the state tournament, she was the best player I saw besides the Skyview girls. And she's back as a junior this year. She's going to be a problem. I think Post Falls wins that league up there, up north. And Kylie Munday, when you have a player like that on your team, you can beat anybody any day. So Post Falls could play spoiler. I think it goes Madison Eagle, then I think it goes Post Falls, then I think it goes down even another tier. And then we got Thunder Ridge, Mountain View, Owyhee, Timberline, Lake City, Rocky, and Lewiston. Lewiston's got Katie Wessels. She committed to University of Washington. They're picked to win the Pac-12 this year for volleyball. And the Pac-12 got, Stanford, Oregon, Arizona State. The Pac-12 has some absolutely crazy good volleyball teams. And Katie Wessels is committed to go to UW, and they're picked to win the Pac-12. So Lewiston has a monster out there with Katie Wessels. And then I got Rocky. I talked about Rocky. I think they could be in around that 10 spot. Lake City's got Olivia Learman. She's a Division I baller. She's going to Montana, I believe. Maybe it's Montana State. Montana State. They got Peyton Pugh as well. They were at the state tournament last year. They've got experience. And And then I got Rigby at 8, Kambree Barber, one of the best athletes in the state. She's going to be a junior. She just committed to BYU for basketball. I know she loves volleyball as well. If they feed her the ball, they're going to be tough to beat. I talked to some of the Thunder Ridge girls and the Madison girls, and they said, you got to take care of her or else, they can beat you. And so you got, Rigby at 8, Timberline at 7, Owyhee at 6, Mount View at 5, respectively along, they're in that order with the SIC standings. I put them in that order, the state standings. That could be mixed up depending. We'll see. And then Thunder Ridge is 4. Thunder Ridge took Eagle to the brink last year in the first round. Thunder Ridge has Bree Arfman and Bailey Coons. They're both back. They can both ball. See what Thunder Ridge can do. But anyway, very excited to see. I mean, once we get going and everybody starts playing and teams start beating teams and people start losing and getting upset, and it's going to be interesting to see how this moves around. The SIC is just wide open, in my opinion, after Eagle. Eagle's winning the league, and then it's going to be wide open. It's going to be fun to watch. But anyway, tune in. I'm going to try to do this a little bit shorter. I always say 15 to 20 minutes. I go 25 to 30 because I love talking about it. There's just too much to talk about. But yeah, thanks for joining. Thanks for checking out the Idaho 5A volleyball preview. I'll get more into this as the year goes along. Like I said, just wanted to jump on here. This is the first time I've done this by myself. I'm figuring it out, but wanted to give a shout out to all these teams, talk about the SIC as best I could, a name drop a little bit, and then touch on who I think is going to win state just before we get going here. I think it's going to be Madison. I want Eagle. I think Eagle needs to be in a certain place of togetherness and a certain place mentally to be able to go back east and beat Madison twice because it's double elimination. And not that I think they can't beat them. They may play before the state tournament and Eagle may beat them, but beating Madison back east twice to win a state championship with the success they've had and with who their setter is, it's going to be really a tough task, a tall task. But I'm excited for Eagle. I'm excited for Madison. I'm excited for Post Falls. Like I said, Kylie Munday, must-see TV. She's a monster. But anyway, tune in. We'll continue to do this. Hopefully I didn't bore you all. I'm sure I did. But all you volleyballers out there, subscribe, give me a like, share the podcast, and let's have some fun with it. Good luck to everybody this year. And thanks for tuning in to the EBC Idaho 5A Volleyball Preview Podcast. I will see you soon.